Charles Barkley.
So inequality is a big problem, and listen, the toothpaste is out of the tube. America is the greatest place in the world, but it's rich people against poor people.
At times makes very sound points.
I want to say this. If you're gay and transgender, I love you. Hey, and if anybody gives you you tell them Charles said you.
He'll stand up for the marginalized.
You see anti-Semitism, racism. People feel emboldened to do things and say things now.
Do you think he encourages that?
Yes, of course he does encourage it. The way he talks about Muslims, the way he talks about Hispanics, some of his interaction with blacks, he definitely encourages it.
He'll go after the former president willingly.
One of the reasons I have not been a big believer in the Republican Party in the past, I think they divide and conquer.
And gives brutally honest assessments time and time again. Though sometimes he falls short, and this is one of them. The big story of the week, of course, Tyreek Hill, wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins, who was victim to another example of police brutality.
Hey, keep your window down. Hey, keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car.
Give me that.
Get out of the car.
Give me that. I'm gonna break that freaking window.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. What part of law don't you understand? Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting arrested. I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting up, bro. God damn, twin.
When we tell you to do something, you do it.
You understand?
I'm getting
up,
You
bro.
understand? Not what you want, but what we tell you.
I'm getting
You're a little
out.
confused.
I'm getting out, bro.
Too late.
Chill,
Too
bro.
late.
All right, bro. Take
Too
me to
late.
jail, bro. Do what you gotta do, bro.
We are. We will.
Good, bro.
It is good.
Hey, Drew. Hey.
Don't worry about it. I hung up the phone. You stop crying.
Charles, speaking with Fox Sports Radio 910 in Phoenix, was asked about it. Here's how he answered.
So, I don't know what happened. I think it clearly escalated quickly.
Yes.
I hate that we're going to throw it in the media because, the guys are going to quickly go to race.
Yeah.
And it bothers me because we don't know what happened because
we weren't there.
Because we got so many fools in the media who love to play the race card. I says, well, wait a minute. They just did the same thing to Scotty Scheffler.
Mm-hmm. They did.
Right? Yeah. I says, sometimes I think the one thing you can't do as a celebrity, you can't say you know who I am. And like I say, I don't know what happened, but that's the one thing you cannot do.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
You say, yes, sir.
Yep. Cooperate.
Cooperate 100%. And he, like I say, I don't know what happened, but like I say, when we let these fools on TV and the radio start talking about it, they go straight to, was it racism? I'm like, well, wait a minute now. We don't know that. And I saw the police report say he was uncooperative. Mm-hmm. So like I say, but the one thing I hate when we put stuff in the media, we let guys who race bait start throwing stuff out there.
Let's pause here. A few things to address first, okay? Barkley starts off his entire diatribe with, I don't know what happened. And he uttered this line a few times. So let me just be clear. In a hypothetical, if you are asked something as a credible media figure and your initial reaction is, well, I don't really know what happened. But, and then you go in, just eliminate the but in the next part. If one were to say, I want to wait for all the facts to come out, or, I'm not comfortable speaking on this yet, that's fine. We don't have to have an opinion on everything, but he would go forward. He says he read the police report and he would appear to take it as fact. Let's dispel this, okay? In that same police report, as obtained by ESPN's Jeff Darlington, who somehow keeps showing up at different sites like this, the officer said Tyreek Hill was traveling 60 in a 45 And the officer knows this because of a visual estimation. Not a radar gun. He doesn't have a radar gun in his head. Visual estimation. So we're taking that as fact. We're believing here what is written. He was for sure going 60. How do you know? I just know. I mean, look, there is a deeper conversation to be had, which I'd like to open up, and that is about police reports. Take, for example, my city of Chicago. An audit by the city found more than 100 officers lied while on the job, even though city officials said they have zero tolerance for officers who make false reports. In the New York Times' write-up titled, which is a must-read, "When police lie, the innocent pay, some are fighting back," they would write, there have long been instances, in which the police have provided false accounts of arrests, but disparities between officers' descriptions and what people see have become more common with the expansion of body cameras and cell phone videos, and as police departments' public accounts draw more scrutiny. I will give you the most high-profile example that one can give. Okay? His name is George Floyd. The initial release by the Minneapolis Police Department. We all saw what happened, of course, on the body cam. We all saw what happened by citizens' video, cell phone videos. We witnessed it firsthand. Everyone saw it. From the United States all the way to Japan, we saw it. All right? Here's what the cops said initially. It would be titled, "Man Dies After Medical Incident During Police Interaction." A medical incident. The department claimed Floyd physically resisted officers, but got cuffed even though, per their words, Floyd was appearing to suffer medical distress. He did not resist. How did he suffer medical distress? Well, it was because of a medical incident. How did the medical incident happen? If they're going to lie about the biggest case in decades, why wouldn't they lie about something so small? Why else do you think that there have been multiple bills passed by conservative majorities that wish to have a 10-feet buffer, 20-feet buffer, 50-feet buffer, 100-foot buffer between where police are conducting whatever they're doing and a person filming? It's because they don't want accountability. They want to be able to get away with this. The Times would add, across the United States, people who have been the targets of false police statements are increasingly working to correct the record, sometimes investigating their own cases, interviewing the witnesses, and filing defamation suits. CNN. A centrist outlet would add, one of the reasons officers lie in reports is simple: to avoid the consequences. That's according to David Thomas, a professor of forensic studies and criminal justice at Lobb University, FGCU. He's also a retired cop. According to Thomas, a professor of forensic studies, this is going on, and it's a huge problem. Barkley would also bring up this guy, Scotty Scheffler, and there's no doubt there are some similarities. That being, Officer Brian Gillis, the cop on the scene in the Scheffler incident, went forward with a practice many in his field do over and over again, claimed they were assaulted or violated or hit or kicked or blah, 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 to appear as the victim and garner public sympathy in an effort to make the accused look bad. That officer, Brian Gillis, would claim, per a police statement, a pole-mounted video from across... Oh, excuse me, I went too far. Let me start over. Per a police statement, I apologize, Scheffler refused to comply and thus accelerated his vehicle forward, dragging the officer, and Gillis fell to the ground. It was reported he was taken to the hospital. And many were obsessed with the quote in the report that his pants were damaged beyond repair. The Lexington Herald would go on to write and print, a pole-mounted video from across Shelbyville Road didn't appear to substantiate the detective's accounts. 3 ESPN employees who arrived at the scene also gave eyewitness reports that disputed it. So that happened. So Charles saying that he is, I don't know what happened, but I read the police report. Cops lie all the dang time. They lie. This is what they do. They are not in the truthful business because when they are, they're no longer a cop the majority of the time. The other problem is we know how Barkley feels about policing from his past rhetoric on the subject.
I spent the day with the cops, the split-second decisions they have to make. I mean, we're talking split-second decisions. They can do 95% of things correct and 5% screw up, and we spend all our time talking to 5% screw up.
He said this to a room full of people, including Diane Butler, seen here, who lost her son to police violence.
You said you rode with the police, and you had a conversation with them, and it takes them only a split second to make a decision. Tell me why it took 15 to 20 minutes to beat my son to death. 15 officers. They did some horrific stuff to my child.
And she was not having it. Barkley would also say this.
The notion that white cops are out there just killing black people, that's ridiculous. It's just flat out ridiculous.
And you know what the subject was of him opening it up this way? Eric Garner. Eric Garner, who died via suffocation from NYPD cop Daniel Pantaleo. He'd add, Barkley, I don't think that was a homicide. I think the cops were trying to arrest him, and they got a little aggressive. I have to reiterate, I really do like Charles Barkley. Yet when I see him talking about anything to do with policing, it is just a bad take over and over and over. Like his thoughts on defund is awful, flat out awful. So when I look at this, I just see so many different discrepancies when it comes to Barkley because I just don't understand where he's coming from with this stuff. It just seems so far-fetched that he would say, it's so similar to Scotty. Meanwhile, Tyreek Hill says he got the crap beaten out of him and he got kicked over and over again by these officers. Did Scotty Scheffler get viciously beaten up? The second is using an A to B example like this is just, it doesn't speak to the climate and the systems that are put in place to put down so many minorities in this country. For example, per mappingpoliceviolence.org, black people are 2.9 times more likely to be killed by police than white people in the United States. Immediately going, I don't like playing the race card. Like, I get it. All right. I get it because I've heard it so many times over. But the numbers don't lie about this. Furthermore, prisonpolicy.org would write, the percent of black Americans in the general U.S. population, 13%. Meanwhile, the percent of people in prison or jail who are black, 37%. From the NAACP, a black person is 5 times more likely to be stopped without just cause than a white person. This also leads to mental health decline and many other factors that could just simply be avoided. So I have to reiterate, I like Chuck. I like what he brings. He is hilarious. A lot of times a truth teller. But for some reason, he just misses the mark here time and time again. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.